Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Aysh, and in this vlog I'm just going to be updating you on what's been going on this week, both like with my career and just with me. And yeah, this is basically the start of a new series on my channel where I'm just going to kind of document things as time goes on, just so I can look back, you know, in a few years or in a few months and kind of see where I was at. And you know, it'll be a nice thing to look at, and also it means that if you want to get to know me more, you can do. And you know, if you don't, then there's still plenty of piercing tutorials on my channel that you can go and look at, and there's loads of videos of me getting pierced and other things like that. So yeah, you can go watch those videos if you're not interested in this vlog series. So this week has been a pretty good week. Obviously it was Easter last week, and I had a sale starting on Friday and ending at the end of Tuesday, which I got quite a lot of orders from, so there was a lot of orders to pack and ship for that. If you didn't know that there was a sale, and you do want to know when there are sales in future, by the way, you can get notified if you sign up to the mailing list down below, and then when there is a sale I just email everyone on that list. But yeah, so quite a few orders from that. And then on Wednesday I went to the studio, like that's the start of my sort of studio week, and you know, did some cool piercings and stuff. Had quite a long consultation with a girl who wanted her belly button pierced, but she'd already had it done before, and there was a mark from it, but it was quite a shallow mark. So I'd be piercing behind it, leaving the mark in front of the piercing, and you know, she wasn't sure if she'd want that look or if she'd be happy with the mark still being there. So we had quite a long discussion about it, and in the end she did end up getting the piercing, and she really liked it. And I think the piercing did really detract the eye from like the mark from where the previous piercing was, because obviously even if she didn't get that piercing, then you know, she'd have the mark there either way. You might as well kind of try and distract from it if you don't like it. Also this week I did my first industrial strength order, and you know, if you watched my last channel update, you'll know that that was one of the top things that I wanted to do, you know, like before the summer. So I've set aside some money for that, and it's going to take about 6 to 8 weeks to get here, because obviously industrial strength is based in America, and even though they have a UK distributor, it's all like sorted out in America, then posted here, and then posted from the UK distributor to me. So yeah, so 6 to 8 weeks to that, but I am probably going to open pre-orders for any industrial strength bits, and also I'm going to allow people to kind of custom order stuff. So for my next order, if there's something specific from industrial strength that you want, then you know, you let me know what it is, you put a deposit down, and when it arrives you pay the rest and it's shipped out to you. So I am going to do things like that, and I would also like to know, for people who already wear industrial strength or like are familiar with the brand, what your favourite pieces are, because I know there are certain pieces that I like, but I know that my tastes aren't necessarily the same as other people's. So I've got some pretty basic things for now, like I've just got a lot of the things that I think people will like. I haven't got many opals or things like that, because obviously with things like colours and stuff there's way more variety, and I had a pretty okay budget. It wasn't a small budget, but it wasn't big enough for me to get a large selection of opals and things like that. So I've kind of left all that kind of stuff to my second order, where I can kind of work out the system, because it was not complicated to order, but it was more complicated than putting stuff in the basket, which is what I'm used to doing with my other suppliers. So yeah, I'm really happy that I managed to get that done this week, and I kind of wished, like, they don't take the money for the order out of my account until the order is ready. And that is a really nice thing for them to do as a business, because it means it doesn't fuck with my cash flow. But the way I am with money, I kind of wish they had taken it out, because what I don't want to happen is me to spend that money. So I just need to kind of know, look, I need to have this much in my account for when the order comes out, and just be really good with it. And I'm starting to get better with money management, but yeah, it is something I do struggle with, to be completely honest with you. I'm not gonna lie, like, this whole vlogging thing feels really weird right now. I literally feel like I'm talking to myself, and it's not like a video where there's kind of more of a purpose. It's just a little bit weird, so I'm really sorry if this is like super awkward to watch, although I don't know who I'm saying sorry to, because it's probably just gonna be me watching it in a few months. But yeah, this is what has happened this week on the piercing side of things. But there's also something that happened in just like general life that I want to talk about. And that actually happened like literally, what, like an hour ago? So I came home from the studio, and I was walking home from the station. So That's about a 5-minute walk from the station to my flat. And I saw this family. And this family was like a pretty, you know, normal family. It was like a mum, a dad, a little girl and a little boy. And the little boy was the older child. And like at first I thought it was just the mum and the little boy, and then I realised like the dad and the little girl were up front and they were holding hands, and they'd been shopping, and the dad was carrying a carrier bag with crisps in, and then the little boy was carrying 2 carrier bags, and I'm not 100% sure what they had in because it wasn't as easy to identify as crisps, but he was clearly struggling with these bags. And it really like, not aggravated me, it just annoyed me. Like I felt bad for the little boy. Like I have a little brother, and whenever he has to do things, like I'm glad it's not me having to do them, but at the same time I feel bad. Because I grew up like not really having to do anything for myself, to be completely honest with you. Like I didn't have to make my own food. I didn't even have to like do any cleaning or chores or things like that. Like my parents had a housekeeper. There was a nanny because I had a little brother, and they'd make the food. And I never really had to do that stuff. And I've always kind of thought like in my adult life that I kind of wish I had been made to do those things so that adult life wouldn't be such a shock. And I kind of not resented my parents, but I kind of wished I'd been eased into it, because obviously like now having to make your own fucking food every day is a big shock to not making food at all, and then like having to do laundry and change your bed sheets and all of that kind of stuff. Like it's just fucking long. I don't really like housework. I love cleaning, but I don't like the actual choresy stuff like the changing bed sheets or doing laundry. I just like cleaning stuff. But even that, it takes time out of my day where usually I want to be doing something else. But you know, I get it done, and I've started working up a routine for that, but that's not the point anyway. Like, what aggravated me about this is obviously that the little boy was having to carry this stuff, and you know, he's gonna grow up and have to carry stuff for the rest of his life. So when he's a child, like, he shouldn't have to carry stuff. He at least should be carrying the crisps rather than the heavy stuff. So that is what aggravated me, but it also kind of like made me think about things a bit differently, because the way I kind of wish that I, you know, grew up slightly differently so that I was more used to like having to do stuff for myself. And in hindsight, I really just like appreciate the fact that I didn't. Like after seeing that, I'm just like, well, yeah, I'm gonna have to do that shit for the rest of my whole life. I'm gonna have to make my own food, and I'm gonna have to like fucking, you know, wash up and all that stuff that my parents saved me from as a child. And I'm really grateful that I didn't have to do that stuff now. Like, I look at it in a completely different way. Like, seeing this little boy and kind of comparing him to my brother, because when my brother has to do stuff, I do feel really bad because I didn't have to. Hopefully when I look back on this, I will remember it, and I'll, you know, hopefully still be grateful for the fact I didn't have to do that shit. But I also was a bit hesitant about sharing it because, I don't know, I don't really get into personal stuff like this, like how I grew up and all that kind of stuff on my channel, or even on social media in general. Like, I'm not that kind of person where I put everything out. Like, some people think that I've like bared my soul to the internet because of certain things I've written or I've put out on the internet and things like that, or that I just literally don't hide anything, but it's really not the case. I put certain things out because I know what I'm doing. Like, I know certain stories that I'm over, that you could read on my blog and stuff. It's not deep for me to put it out. But yeah, so that is basically why I was iffy about sharing this, because I do still care about these things. Like, I do still care about how my little brother feels and, you know, shit like that. But at the same time, I still wanted to share the thought, because I mean, I don't know if I'm just like overreacting, but to me, the fact that dad was carrying crisps and the little boy is carrying 2 heavy shopping bags, like, they're clearly heavy for him. He was struggling, like, you know, like what you do when shopping is heavy and you shift it from hand to hand. He was doing all that stuff. I really wanted to just fucking hold the shopping for him. But yeah, like, it really fucking bothered me. Like, the mum wasn't holding anything either. Fair enough, for all we know, she might be hurt or injured or something. That means she can't hold stuff. But, like, at least the dad could, at the very least, hold one of the fucking bags, if not hold the 2 heavy ones, and let the boy hold the crisps. Like, yeah, it just bothered me. Like, I understand if he already had all his hands full and, you know, he was carrying the maximum weight he could carry, but it just really annoyed me. And yeah, like, am I overreacting about that? Like, is it really that deep? Or is that something that would bother you? But yeah, I've talked about that story now for probably more than I've talked about all the piercing stuff. So I'm going to leave this vlog there. I just wanted to update you on how things were going. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. Drop a comment below and I will see you in the next video. Oh, that rhymes. So typically I filmed that, I put all the stuff away, and then I realised there was some stuff that I forgot to include. One of those things is that I stretched my nostril piercings from 1mm to 1.2mm just so that I could put on some onyx flat ends on the end of them, and I really like how they look, so I'm really happy with those, and I'll put some pictures in this vlog. The second thing that I forgot to mention that I realised I wanted to mention is that this week on Sunday my cat Cookie turns 1, and obviously if this is a vlog that I want to look back on, I want to remember this time. So yeah, it'll be a year since she was born, not like a year since I got her. So I've bought her loads of presents, but she basically doesn't really like any of them, it seems. I mean, she was kind of playing with one when I was talking about the onyx stuff, but she hasn't really properly played with any of them. Like, I got her a cat tent, I got her this ball that runs around, and yeah, she's just not a fan. She doesn't really want to sit still right now either. She doesn't want to look at the camera. Cookie, look! No. No? No. So yeah, I got Cookie in June last year. Do you want to look? I got her in June last year, and she basically, I got her for a lot of reasons. I mean, she was a mental support animal, like an emotional support animal. Like, you know, she makes me feel less anxious, but I also am less anxious in general for other reasons now. And also, like, I wanted a cat for ages, but my mum is allergic. And I've had cats before, but I've ended up having to give them away. And now that I've got my own place and stuff, I wanted to get a cat that I could, like, she's just literally just staring at me. But yeah, I wanted to get a cat that I could, you know, have to call my own. And, you know, it gives me company as well because I live alone. So it means that I've got company and, you know, she's a bundle of fun. She's got her own Instagram as well, which I do need to start posting on more. But if you do want to follow her and you like cats and stuff, it's cookiemonster.jpg, isn't it? But yeah, I don't think she's going to sit still for much longer. So I am going to put her down and end this little segment here. Just so you know, I've got loads of new stock over on wholeheartedlondon.com. This new high quality range not only looks stunning, but it's highly polished, internally threaded, implant grade titanium, so it's great for your piercings too.